Hello everyone, welcome to Crypto Atlas. In this video we're talking about AMC. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more AMC especially, be sure to tell me in the comments down below and hit subscribe. I do have other videos where I have talked about AMC and I plan on doing this much more proactively, but of course, if you guessed by my name, I also talk about cryptocurrencies. So if you guys are part of the AMC community, welcome. It's great to have you here. Please do not forget to hit the thumbs up like button. It really does help us out with the YouTube search algorithm. Click the bell icon so that you know whenever we have a new video. And feel free to let me know and everyone else in the comments down below, just for fun, if you had to pick a date, any date, just see if maybe you were guessing right. When do you think the short squeeze will take place? Again, that part is just for fun. I am not a financial advisor. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage that you go out and do your own research. So diving into some of the things that I want to talk about today for AMC. AMC down just slightly over the course of the day, closing out down 6.54%. We did see it actually drop even further below that, dropping down below the 10% range. And a lot of this was also impacting much more of the stock market. And a large contributing factor for that was the buildup and the tension in regards to Jerome Powell and his speech and how that would kind of play out. After his speech, things actually cooled down a bit and we started to see some recovery action. Volume was much less than we've seen the last 2 days, as you guys can see on the chart here. The RSI is nearing the point of being considered once again in the overbought territory, but we're getting very close with some key things, especially this Friday with the options contracts expiring. The options contracts, there's a lot of them that's going to be coming up, guys. So, for example, a strike price of $55, there's 48,000 just for $55, and that's not including $60, which has an additional $45,000 roughly. You got a $145 price point, which would be absolutely amazing if that took place. That's going to be a bit harder. I mean, we only got a couple more days, but hey, if we do it, next week is looking really good for this squeeze. $70, we have another $37,000, $54. So basically, guys, the name of the game right now is to try and see if ideally $70 can be hit by the end of Friday for trading date, right? So we'll have to see with these contracts expiring how it's going to play out. The hedge funds that are totally against this are more than likely going to be putting up a strong fight, especially in the last day or two where they're going to have that biggest impact fighting against something like this. So don't be surprised if you see things in the media really trying to bash and put down that of AMC, trying to mislead you, trying to make you think that, oh, look at this over here. This is the investing opportunity right now. Look at how well it's doing. We saw that with certain things recently, like, for example, with Clover, which was heavily tied to Citadel. And Citadel is the hedge fund that's really one of the main hedge funds that's shorting this. So trying not to get them more money so that they can move that over to keep doing more shenanigans over here, right? So if you guys want to support AMC, by all means, that is totally your opinion. I'm supporting AMC. I'm not trying to influence you guys. I'm looking at some of the data right here. You guys make your own calls and, again, do your own research on everything. So with what we're looking at on the data, it looks like about $70 on Friday is a key level. All right, so, and there's been all kinds of crazy news articles that's going on right here. I actually had this set up here just a minute ago, but I'll go and look it up real quick. So if you look at the news for the last 24 hours, you got to be careful where you're trying to get your information from, right? I mean, take a look at this. The Motley Fool. When I've talked about Bitcoin on my channel before, I've actually brought up multiple videos in the past where they don't know what position they seem that they want to stand on as a company. Either that or they're just letting everyone and their grandmothers write an article, and I don't know. It just doesn't seem like they have the credibility of what they've really had before, and I'm talking about years ago. So just for example, this within the last 24 hours, there's an article here, forget AMC stock, is the business worth owning? But then there's another article, why Torchlight Energy and AST Space Mobile pop today, but AMC stock drops. So both are obviously bearish in nature. They're both like FUD, the fear, uncertainty, doubt. They're downplaying that of AMC. And then 3 reasons AMC Entertainment is a better meme stock than Clover Health. So now it's all of a sudden talking about how good it is, right? So it's like one hand, they're trying to appeal to the audience that doesn't like AMC, and then on the other hand, they're also trying to appeal to the people that do like AMC. They're not actually taking a position, so maybe some people like that. I don't know. I don't think it really works with the movement, what we're trying to do here, especially when a lot of the information is very misleading and very clickbait, like what they're doing. So anyways, moving on. One of the things that I noticed here is that under CNBC, there's an article posted, and this is in reference to a hedge fund group, Man Group PLC. So Man Group PLC, their CEO, some of the key takeaways for this, right? Meme stocks took markets by storm in January and have continued to grab headlines. Reddit traders piled into previously unfavorable companies and sent their share prices skyrocketing. Some of the surging share prices have translated into tangible results for the companies involved. Cinema chain AMC Entertainment recently saw its credit rating upgraded by S&P after using Reddit-fueled share offerings to raise capital and make a debt restructuring program less likely. It's AMC movie theaters. All right, so people are going back, COVID restrictions are being lifted, and people are able to live lives again. And a form of entertainment that a lot of people tend to go to is the movie theater industry. So to see that as a market potential to get into, because it's something that's so like ingrained in our culture, would make sense. But apparently to not people like this. So the rise of promise of so-called meme stocks, those favored by retail traders on forums such as Reddit, is creating, quote, false markets that should be actively avoided, according to Man Group CEO Luke Ellis. What do you mean false market? Again, it's an industry space that's very big, and a lot of people are getting back involved in it. Last year, everyone stayed at home because of restrictions from a pandemic. Meme stocks such as GameStop and AMC Entertainment took markets by storm in January and have continued to grab headlines as Reddit traders piled into previously unfavorable companies for brief periods of time and sent their share prices skyrocketing, causing a squeeze on several hedge funds with short positions against the stock. So let me also clarify that we have not really seen the squeeze yet. The squeeze is when these people have to start paying up, when the people that are shorting have to close their positions out. And you see the price rise. We're not seeing that. Short interest rate actually recently is starting to get up again. And there was misleading data because of borrowed shares that's happening on the market. And they're using these weird tactics where they also only report short position identified or labeled stocks, whereas some other stocks that they possess, they can apparently label it differently and call it a long position, even though that's not actually being transparent and being honest with these things. All right. Shorting a stock involves borrowing it and selling it on with a view to buying it back at a lower price, hence profiting from a depreciation in the share price. A recent CNBC analysis found that the typical upward run for an individual stock, often as a result of being championed by 10.5 million member Reddit thread Wall Street Bets, lasted around 9 days before its first big drop. We had a massive drop that took place because of all the shenanigans that took place on the back end with people like Citadel and what happened with their ties over with Robinhood, right? So it's a lot of misguiding information. They're trying to make you focus over here when this is what is the main problem. You want to connect dots when you shouldn't really be connecting those dots, right? You lose the message. Speaking at CNBC's Evolve Global Summit on Wednesday, Ellis said Man Group, one of the world's largest hedge funds, uses technological screening and natural language processing to identify the stocks being touted on sites such as Reddit and avoid trading the names that they're super excited about because they're mostly creating false markets. I'm sorry, but that seems absolutely ridiculous to me. You know, what moves and drives price action? It is hype. It's hype. I mean, it's one of the most fundamental basic things of marketing. Just look at stuff like YouTube. You're much more likely to get a video discovered and have a better view count on that video if you're talking about something that's actually relevant right now, rather than making a video on something from 10 years ago that nobody is looking up, right? And trying to start the trend, because once you start the trend, well, then there's the hype and everything starts to move because there's hype. So the fact that they're avoiding this, to me, that doesn't seem very intelligent, and that's my opinion at least. Some of the surging share prices have translated into tangible results for the companies involved. Cinema chain AMC Entertainment recently saw its credit rating upgraded by S&P after using Reddit-fueled share offerings to raise capital and make a debt restructuring program less likely. I think it becomes really interesting when companies then take advantage of what are otherwise false share prices and issue stock. And I think we're going to see a radical shift in the cinema industry because one of the cinema chains has been able to use the pumping of the stocks on Wall Street bets in order to go and raise capital, Ellis said. I mean, this is pretty interesting. Right here it says, what are otherwise false share prices and issue stock. What's causing the prices of the stock to be false? If a bunch of people go and invest in it, is that not true price action? Or is it because people are doing shady things like hedge funds working through the dark pool to try and manipulate the price action of the movement, right? You get short attacks and all this other crap that goes on. You're telling me that there's no loopholes that the hedge fund groups, like what they are trying to take advantage of? I'm sorry, but you and me as a regular person, I don't think we're making false prices. I don't think that is happening at all. I think we're going to see a radical... Okay, get out of here with that. That's going to put them at a significant competitive advantage compared to other people in their industry. They're talking about the film industry. However, Ellis added that his FTSE 250 listed firm, which manages around $124 billion in assets, was interested in up to $10,000 stocks around the world and therefore found it easy to avoid the ones where we think it's a false market. It's been going on for months. You're in the market. It is happening. And you're missing the opportunity because you're stubborn. What's so disappointing is if they are a hedge fund and they have these kinds of messages that they convey, why can't they back it up? Right? So if every hedge fund had the same mentality, they would all be corrupt. Think about that for a second. If they all had the same mentality, they would all be corrupt. But we should leave it the opportunity to think that some hedge funds may actually have good intentions. And those that have good intentions, they should be fighting for the people like you and me. And for the message that we're trying to convey with something like AMC. So this is actually in quote to Ellis from a separate article. What we offer people is a culture where they can work with colleagues in a collaborative, engaging environment, where they can feel like they belong, where they know they're doing something that's not about making a billionaire a bit more billion-y, he said. We have a good time. We look after each other. Sounds like a family. Kind of like a bunch of apes coming together, right? Sound familiar to you? Two areas of focus at Man are natural language processing, in which computers read and digest vast amounts of text, and adapting the firm's quantitative processes to markets beyond stocks and bonds. The firm was actively trading U.S. electricity during the February power outages in Texas. Ellis said it also trades Bitcoin. It's bizarre when you read something like this. It makes it sound like they are a perfect representative of what AMC Apes are trying to convey, yet they turn around and they say these other statements like they did with CNBC. So it's contradicting itself. I mean, that's the way that I'm reading it. I don't know how you guys are reading it, but that's what I'm looking at, the words and the quotes on the page. They've got 2,110 rows. According to this website here, this is whalewisdom.com, looking up Man Group PLC. They're located over in London, what holdings that they have. Their biggest holdings that they have, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, TSM, Baba, Facebook, Google. Right? I mean, they're sticking basically with the biggest names that are out there, and the stuff that seems like it's not really wanting to move too much in price action. It's kind of secured itself a little bit. It's in the technological based space. Obviously, they mentioned earlier the Bitcoin side. But, I mean, come on. You're telling me you're going to have 2,110 rows and you're going to put $0 of anything into AMC? Maybe they're shorting it. I don't know on that one. But to me, things don't seem to be adding up quite so well. And it's frankly disappointing that people keep trying to push us down, the ape community. So guys, sorry, that was for crypto. I went to the wrong chart there. So going back over to AMC here, that's going to go ahead and do it for this episode. A little bit longer. I was actually trying to make this be pretty quick, but I really wanted to convey some specific points. So I plan on making the next videos much shorter and much more updated on focusing just on the recent articles and stuff. Anyways, but again, if you guys are new and you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit subscribe. Let me know in the comments when you think that we could see the squeeze take place, what your thoughts are that happened in this video and what I talked about. And hit the thumbs up like button. Feel free to share the video. Ape Nation, man, we're an army, we're a family. We're all fighting for the same kind of cause. I own AMC share stocks because I like the stock. I like movie theaters. I like what this message conveys. Your own opinion, your own research. Guys, I'm not a financial advisor. Thank you again so much, everybody, for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode.